Hey everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to be creating a traveller's notebook spread featuring the beautiful Taylor Kit from Felicity Jane. I already have my background pages cut to size. I like to create my pages outside the notebook first, which allows me to add things like stitching and staples if I want to use those, and then I just stick them into my notebook once they're done. So those are the background pages. I've used the dashes paper from the kit for that background. It does still have the branding strip at the bottom here, but I won't be using that today. I've got some pieces of the plaid paper from the kit which will be covering those up at the bottom of each of those pages. I'm scrapping today about some biscuits that I made back in April. These are Anzac biscuits for Anzac Day. I'm really not a big baker or cook, so this was unusual for me to actually bake some biscuits, and they turned out perfectly. I was super happy and everyone really enjoyed them, which I absolutely loved. So that's what I'm recording today. I've got my journaling printed out onto some vellum. To do that, I just printed it out onto some plain paper, adhered my vellum over the top. I made sure before I printed that I made that rectangle invisible, and that way I didn't get that border around the outside printed onto the vellum. So that's going to be going onto this journaling card from the kit. At the top there it says today's win. So that is my journaling ready to go. I also have the die cuts here from the Die Cut Shapes pack. I'm thinking of using one of these scalloped pieces, but I also have the flowers, a little cup. I absolutely love this home piece, so I might use that as well. And I'm using the Taylor alphabet stickers here for my title. I love the gold foil on those stickers. All right, I think I'm ready to make a start, so I will pop you on fast forward and show you what I've got planned. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to add my plaid pieces of pattern paper to the bottom of each page, just using some double-sided tape for that, making sure it's all nicely lined up. And then I'm going to adhere my vellum journaling onto that journaling card. I've got some vellum tape here that I've had in my stash for quite a few years now, but it still works really well. So I just had a little bit of adhesive right in the middle there just to secure it. And then I'm going to take that piece and the pages to my sewing machine and add some stitching. Alright, that is done. I've gone right around the border and across the middle of the pages and top and bottom of the journaling, and I love the texture it adds to the page. So now I'm going to add my journaling and my photo. However, if you can just see down the bottom there, I've swapped the pages over and now the plaid pattern doesn't line up at the bottom. But don't worry, I did realize this once I'd finished filming, and I have fixed that up, and you'll see in the photos at the end of the video that I have replaced that plaid and it now nicely lines up on both pages. So right now I haven't realized what I've done, and I'm just going ahead and adding those things to these pages. I've got this die cut scalloped piece which is going down the left hand side of that first photo, and I'm going to add a row of stitching along that. So I'm just grabbing my sewing machine to do that now. Alright, so that is done. I can go ahead and add my title down the side of the photo now, and I love these Taylor chipboard alphas with the gold foil. They are just so pretty. Just using my T-square ruler to make sure I get them nice and straight, so now I can go ahead and add those carefully to the photo, making sure they all fit nicely along that edge. So that's done. I'm now adding a piece of Essentials cotton ribbon to the top of that little die cut tag. Just stapled that on to secure it. I'm just trimming it down a little bit to tuck in behind that journaling card. I've now got this little floral die cut piece that's going on the bottom corner of the journaling card, and I'm just trying to position it so that I don't need to trim the edges off at all. I've also got that little coffee cup there, and I'm going to add some messy thread in behind there. Now I did have a little bit of trouble with the foam dots I was using, or the foam squares, sorry. They just weren't very sticky, so you'll see me later adding a bit of liquid glue to that just to secure it. I've also got this little home die cut piece. I absolutely love this piece. It's one of my favorites in the kit this month. Just adding that down the left hand side of the journaling card. Okay, so I'm going to use my Felicity Jane roller date stamp to add the date to this little tiny tag from the Megan kit. I've used Stays On ink for that so it doesn't smudge. And I'm just going to add a little piece of twine to that tag, and I'm going to add that to the cluster. So I do trim that twine off fairly short. I'm just tucking that in under the bottom edge of that coffee cup. So the last thing, or the last couple of things I'm going to do to this page, I'm just going to add a heart just above the title on that left side page. And then I found some little gold hearts in the Harper Puffy Alpha sticker. So I'm just adding a couple of little gold hearts to that right hand side so that that page has a little touch of gold as well. This is where I'm just adding my liquid glue to secure that coffee cup. And then the very last thing I'm going to do is do a little bit of stamping onto one of the labels in the kit, just choosing which color I wanted to use, and I thought that pink would be perfect. So I'm going to add a phrase from the Hope stamp set that says, "You've got this." So just inking that one up, and then I'm just going to go straight onto that label. So that is done. I can now go ahead and add that to the page. So I'm just going to work out where I want that to go, and I decide to add it under my photo. So just sticking that one into place, making sure I get it nice and straight. And then I'm going to add a row of stitching across that, just to add a little bit more texture, and then that will finish off the page nicely. So that is done. I'll give you a closer look. You can see the stitching there, and a closer look at that little embellishment cluster as well on the other page. So I'm really happy with how this come together. Let me know if you've got any questions about this one. Just leave it down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll leave a link to Felicity Jane down below for you as well. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye for now.